of the evening to you, lads and lasses. Welcome into another edition of America's Hometown Horror Podcast. My name is Mike, and I'll be your host this good evening as we run through another movie. I don't think I can keep that up the entire
I hope not, because that is extremely offensive as a former leprechaun. I'm fucking pissed.
Well, as an Irish American, I'm allowed to make fun of our own homeland accents.
Yeah, Mike,
Irish need not apply.
Mikkel?
Yes.
Mikkel?
So I don't want to hear it. Shut the fuck up. But anyway, welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. My name is Mike, and I guess we have a jam-packed episode tonight. This might be one tough to fill out an hour, but we'll see.
We will.
We'll see. Before we jump into everything, though, let's get some stuff out of the way. First and foremost, here's where you can find us online if you are so interested in that type of thing. Excuse me. First place is our website. Head over to AHHPod.com, AHHPod.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for America's Hometown Horror and you'll find us. And you can also email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. Send us a line if you have something to say about the show. And, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our two sponsors, first of which is Horror Facts Magazine. You can find them at horrorfacts.com. Great resource for any horror fan for news, reviews, editorials, and other podcasts besides ours, but also ours. And last but certainly not least, we are now an affiliate of Fangoria Magazine, the first name in fright since 1979. We are partnering with Fangoria to give you, listener, 20% off any purchase, first-time purchase or first-time magazine subscription at shop.fangoria.com/hometownhorrorpod, or just use the code hometownhorrorpod at checkout for your exclusive 20% discount. All right, anywho, so yep, I'm Mike. I'm here. I am also joined by my fellow co-hosts, Andrew, Matt, and Kat. Lady, gentlemen, hello.
Hello.
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah,
I can't see you. Mine's so bad.
I was wondering if you were going to, because it was kind of coming on and off as you were doing
Yeah,
that.
he was just getting into it, and then he goes, hey, bugger.
Yeah, I feel like I can't really... I'm
the blarney stuff.
I'm decent at it, usually if I've had a couple of drinks.
Corned beef and cabbage.
I don't know if...
What do Irish people say? Corned beef and cabbage is all I can think of. I'm like...
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your
Guinness,
back.
whiskey,
Brilliant.
corned beef.
Aaron go bra.
Which means Ireland forever.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
And cilantro.
Here's
Says the Swedish
cilantro, yeah. Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Hi, Kat. Welcome.
Hola.
What's going on?
Not
Hola.
much.
How are you?
I know, hola.
Not necessarily the right
¿Cómo se llamas?
the right timing for hola. Might want to wait for might want to wait for Cinco de Mayo for that one. But guys, so yeah, we got another movie we're talking about tonight, and we're prepping ourselves for St. Patrick's Day and talking about probably the most famous
We just did it again.
horror movie. Okay.
Still.
Okay, so as I was saying, we were talking about probably the horror movie that's most associated with St. Patrick's Day tonight, which we'll get to. For good,
I know
for
what
better
movie
or
it
for
is.
worse.
I know who killed me. That's
Yes,
the movie.
yep, that's the one.
Starring
I know.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yes, that's the one. That certainly is. But yeah, guys, so I know we talked about this a little bit last week. We talked about the conspiracy and closed out Found Footage February in an episode that dropped in March. But this week, a couple big releases. Scream 6 and 65 will be out, actually, as of this recording. What's today? Tuesday? It'll be out on probably either Thursday night or Friday. So you can catch both those movies in theaters this weekend, if you are so inclined. I think we're checking out Scream 6 to see if all the hype is well-deserved.
The only reason I can't wait to see that movie is
Panettiere.
Terry's in there. She's the... Yeah.
Yeah, one of your favorites.
She was hot. I don't know what happened to her. She like disappeared. It was as if like Harvey Weinstein got his like grips on her and was like, "You're never gonna make it."
Jesus.
No, that's what it felt like. Like it felt like she got canceled by some weird guy.
I mean, it certainly could have happened. I haven't heard of her as being one of those people.
I have no facts to back that up, but
or she could just not be a very good actor.
I think she just does like kind of random shit.
There's a lot of bad actors that are.
That's also true.
Good looking, and they are always in stuff.
That's true, because there were some bad actors in this movie that we're going to be talking about tonight. Some bad acting, bad writing, and lots of other things.
There was actually a lot of good actors in this movie, too.
I was going to say.
Which is actually kind of wild, because it's so bad.
Good actors and a great. Can't be
Well,
bad.
bad.
Awesome
You
movie.
have bad dialogue. That's
It's
Yeah.
kind of great though. It's so bad.
help,
it's good,
help.
But
that fucking scene. I
God.
can't.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Don't worry.
Yes, I can't.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have our
I
coverage.
can't. You're getting to me. Oh, you get your clothes.
You unzip me.
Oh, you unzip me.
Oh my God.
Off the rails.
So-
Very early.
This is what happens when everybody except for me and Matt go to Red Tea Garden.
I mean,
before
also, in
recording.
fairness, this is a St. Patrick's Day episode.
Yes.
So,
So why not?
top of the morning, let's drink some beer.
Why not fulfill every offensive Irish stereotype ever and just get loaded before the episode and scream and
Yes.
swear and yell at each
even
other?
though I'm not
There we
drinking
go.
Guinness, I feel like I should have.
We drank plenty of Guinness this past
And
weekend.
in fairness, I did have sex with a pig earlier, so that's because it is the holiday for doing such things, right? St. Patrick's Day, that's what Irish people do. They know. See, I'm Irish, I can say that. Oh,
Timestamp that at 6 minutes.
oh that wasn't.
I don't think the Irish will be that upset.
I'm Irish.
I also am Irish.
I don't think anyone gives a fuck.
I think all four of us have some level of Irish in us for sure. So yeah, okay.
Obviously.
Okay. Yeah, so I think what I was trying to say was that we'll probably have Scream 6 coming at you next week if we're all able to go see the movie. I think that we're varying levels of excited about that. But
Not at all. So.
Yeah.
Really?
You can watch Bridget.
I hate Scream movies. Yeah, I actually will watch.
think Sarah might
if
come
that's
see
the only
this one.
option, if you guys can all go see it, I'll watch the baby.
Okay,
Fair enough.
That's
it's not a bad movie.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll revisit that at a later date.
And I reserve the right to change my accept.
I also reserve the right to cancel, and one of you go.
I'm sorry. I accept. Sure. You want to babysit? Go right ahead. She was speaking of little Irish.
Say it now.
Speaking of Irish, my little Irish Rose was a fucking banshee all day today, screaming and wailing and not sleeping. So, thankfully, she's sleeping right now.
full moon.
Yes. Anyway. All right.
It's
On
a golden.
daylight
It's like a
savings,
golden
too.
moon, though. It's like a different type of moon going on out there.
It's dog shit.
I'm not looking forward to daylight savings. I think it's going to mess her up even more, which is
Nah, they don't
horrendous.
know. They don't gotta go to work.
Yeah. True. True. No
Wait,
work
so-
for her.
Well, I guess we'll see.
She's living in this house rent free for the next
It'll
however
affect
many years.
you.
Who,
'cause
the
she'll
baby?
be getting up an hour earlier.
Yes, the baby is not going to work.
She's just gonna
Yeah,
be getting
that's
up
going to
at
be
the-
horrendous
what
because she's
feels
already
normal.
getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 o'clock in the Oh my God!
You don't get
I
up.
can't
You don't
even-
get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, I put her back to sleep.
I wake up at 5 o'clock every day because my brain is like.
Well, no, then technically
Well,
she'll
why
be
don't
getting
you
up
come over
at.
and watch
Yeah.
It actually would probably help my fucking weirdness.
It'll be 6 according to your brain, right?
What about actually?
Isn't that all that matters? What your brain thinks?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't really.
Also, we're getting more sunlight, so I
Fuck
don't give a
daylight
fuck.
savings.
That's a
Daylight
good point.
savings is the worst. Honestly, it is.
I kind of like more light in the morning.
Do
than at
other
night.
countries do daylight savings?
No, we're getting rid of it this year.
I was
I'm not
gonna
sure.
say, this
So
is
they've
the
said that
last
the last
year.
few years, haven't
No,
I
they
think this is the
been
last
voted on,
year.
and I think it was approved, and it's done. And this
Yeah,
is the
this
last
is the last time
year.
Okay.
that we have daylight.
Well, I'm
Daylight
sure.
savings
I'm
time.
sure that maybe that's their intentions, but
Sure.
I'm sure it probably will not happen. It'll someone will complain, and the canceling of daylight.
Well,
service
the problem
time
is
will
that
get
the
canceled.
children can't make their way to the bus. Well, the children
Daylight
can't
savings
make
time.
their way through life, so I don't really care.
Wait,
Other
but
people
What
in
about
other
the
countries must be
children?
like, what the fuck is daylight
To
savings?
They're
say,
like,
to be
these-
fair,
They're like, how?
America-
something that will be
Bitch.
dated from if we get rid of this, Hocus Pocus will be dated because one of the things they say when they turn the lights on at the movie when they're trying to daylight time. So like people are gonna be like,
That's
what's daylight savings time?
That is
Like,
unfortunate.
people are
That
gonna
would
have
be the only
no
thing that dates
idea.
that movie.
Aside from the fact that people will be like, what fucking
So,
movie are you talking? Why did I just make chairs? I just.
I don't know, dude. You bought them.
I didn't touch anything. And all of a sudden I was just like, I am a small. Well, I was a smaller man
careful.
with that comment.
Be
so
careful it doesn't go further down.
That's
'Cause
not
that
one of
would
those
be-
weird
Oh,
videos
no.
where it just goes through your butthole.
Funny you brought up Hocus Pocus. As Hocus Pocus also came out in the year 1993, as did the movie that we're going to talk about here in a few short minutes.
Oh, I'm so relative.
You are so relevant. You are so relative. Yes, that's the word I was looking
That
for.
would be if this thing goes down, it's going. Ready?
If it's going,
I think
it
it's
is
done.
going
I think it's
somewhere
broke. I think
not
the
good.
cushion.
I think
it's
what
just,
happened was when you
there's-
when you lifted your feet up on the rest, you might have hit the lever that's next to your.
Impossible.
No,
Right? That lever is so
under-
high up on this chair that's
It's under his
Mike.
ass.
I
Like,
can't
you
even
do
Mike.
not-
I'm not like a fucking gymnast.
You are in a
My
bad
leg
position to
can't-
have that thing just give out on
Yeah.
you right now, dude. You keep playing like your legs
I
back
mean-
like that, dude. You're wide open.
I felt worse. So.
Oh God.
He's cracked open like a walnut.
Hey,
What does that even mean?
so we're doing a horror podcast,
Split like a pea.
guys. Did anybody watch anything?
Buy a pea.
Any horror-related things over the last week? I know Matt, you always do.
Yes.
You want to kick us off?
Sure.
Go for it.
So I did watch I'm caught up on The Last of Us.
Me and Kat still are not.
All right, we'll
No,
do. I think at this point we
pass.
just do a big recap.
I also
Yeah.
made a statement last week, and I'm standing by it.
You know what, dude? The new episode is fucking.
I heard it's
sick.
wild, and
Yeah.
everybody's complaining about it. So I'm like, oh, this is probably like a good episode of television. Like, I can't believe this was so disgusting with the
It's fucked up.
cannibalism. Like,
It's
it
fucked
sounds.
up.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this sounds just like everything I want to watch.
Yes.
But it was sick.
Okay.
So let's see what else. I watched Spoonful of Sugar on Shudder.
Helps
This
the
just
medicine
came
go
I was
out.
gonna say helps the medicine.
This movie was
Helps
fucked.
the medicine go down.
This
That
movie,
was.
There you go.
this is I think this might be an Andrew movie for sure. Very
It
trippy.
sounds like it's sincerely.
I was already
Singing
dancing,
about it.
and I will always take a spoonful of sugar.
But this is about a babysitter who's got a lot of problems.
Okay.
And she's taking care of a kid who's and
boy.
she decides to try and get him start opening up by dosing him.
Jesus Christ.
I like her style.
It's wicked fucked up.
That's an Andrew movie. That's why.
Hey,
Sounds good. to me.
fantastic fucking twist at the end.
Okay.
Definitely recommend this one.
And
This
what
is
is
one
this
of the
available on?
Shudder.
This is a new release.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is one of their best original releases that I've seen.
I gotta say though, the amount of like good movies, this has got to be.
one of them.
One of them.
I think
for
it's
sure.
it.
One of the first one in a long time. I'd say since at least like 2005, that kind of timeline.
Solely because of no.
Oh,
Or
I
like
think it's
the
so
early
much
2000s.
better. Not because of just no.
I do. I think it's getting smarter.
It's smarter. It's better. You have much better equipment,
Yeah,
so you can make a bad movie look.
great. Pretty
Equipment.
Really good.
Too good.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? My gear? My fuck
My
Are
stick?
you talking about my
Fox
fox stick?
It's talking about
Did
your
he
cock,
say
but-
fox
He's
stick
not gonna
in front of the
he's not gonna say
children?
fuck stick in front of the children, is he? Andrew's like, yes, I will.
there ain't no children listening.
So this episode.
I mean, God knows there ain't anybody
Yeah. All right. Okay. Sorry. All right. So, Spoonful of Sugar on Shudder.
Very good.
Say that 5 times.
I liked
fast.
that one. Antichrist. I watched. This is a Lars von Trier movie. Did we talk about this on
Yeah,
Saturday?
on Saturday. Yeah, we're talking about this. Like,
So this movie's wicked fucked up. I won't get into the nitty gritty of it, but a family goes through like really tragic loss of their child, and the mother and father decide to like kind of go out to a cabin and reassess their emotions, and they have a very intense way of doing that. Lars von Trier did the house that Jack built.
I remember you talking about. That's one with Matt Dillon, right?
yeah,
Yep,
that's a very good movie.
Melancholia.
I've actually seen that movie. That's
He did the Nymphomaniac movies with Charlotte Gainsbourg, who's also in
And Shia.
and Shia.
Shia Boof.
Shy. It's just
So
shy.
this movie's really fucked up. It's definitely on a lot of top 10 lists for most extreme movies. There's a lot of graphic imagery. You get to see Willem Dafoe's fucking dick dong.
Is Hogan?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you specifically what was the most disgusting.
Well, you see full penetration. There is a sex scene at the beginning.
I
of the
can't
movie
think of
where you are
anything
seeing
worse
full
to see
penetration.
than Willem Dafoe's giant fucking penis.
Super hard.
That sounds so terrifying.
Monster dick.
Like he was the Green Goblin.
You know
right?
what though?
He
so
looks,
what's
that
he looks
the,
younger in this movie than he
he
did.
is the Green Goblin.
He looks younger in this than he did in Spider-Man, and this came out after Spider-Man. He actually kind of looks. He's very well kept in this movie. He looks like a normal guy. He doesn't look very scary.
Okay.
See, I find that.
But
very hard to
I think
believe.
it comes with the sympathy you feel for him as so that might it might soften him up a little.
So I've come to a realization. I think that the main reason that when Matt mentions a movie, I immediately want to watch it. Your 10-second synopsis of the movie is better than anyone's I've ever heard.
I try.
It's very
Hey, I
concise.
try.
I think your synopsis,
try.
you know how to draw a slug in. They're like, "Nyeh," and you're just like, give me that salt.
Yep.
And then they die.
Salt,
And their life is ruined. And like, fuck, what movie did you make me
This
watch?
movie's on Tubi.
Tubi. Okay.
And I will say it's not. It's just this is a Seinfeld movie. Like you're gonna, you put on Sports Center for fucking 3 hours after it's over because you just feel like shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just take that in mind. But it's Lars von Trier, so it's incredibly well done. It's a beautiful visual movie, but it's fucking hard to watch.
I like it.
Okay.
I did Silver Bullet.
Oh, I love Silver Bullet.
I do
Oh.
too. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm always a big fan of the Stephen King movies, and I kind of went on like I was getting. I think I'm in the middle of. I went through all these Giallo movies, and now I'm in the middle of like a werewolf.
Nice.
So I watched Silver Bullet, and then I was like, I've been like really itching to watch American Werewolf in London.
Good.
I recently just got Ginger Snaps on Blu-ray. I'm gonna watch
nice.
that.
There you go.
So, yeah, little. I watched this one with Layla. We had fun.
So that movie, I feel like that was
She's like,
probably one of the first Stephen King movies that I actually saw when I was younger, and I feel like there's some scary shit in there when you're a kid, but it's also like so ridiculous and stupid. And
There's some good parts
some,
in it.
some
though.
good kills.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary Busey, gotta love it.
Yeah, just a drunk
Yeah,
maniac.
drunk Gary Busey.
I love when he ties the
Gary
rocket
Busey
to the
is
kid's
always a drunk
wheelchair,
maniac.
like
Yeah, right.
like South Park when they
Have
shoot
you
Timmy.
seen the bad
Yes,
tattoos?
yes. I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The bad tattoos on people's.
It's hard to
like,
tell which ones are bad.
No, they're like, yeah, exactly,
He looks so
exactly.
fucked
You look at all of them and you're like, ugh, ugh.
What a
like
good-
these are
what a
these are
perfect
terrible.
portrait.
Like it's like they're all bad. They're terrible. Any like tattoo of Gary Busey's
Well, I
horrendous.
don't know why you would ever do that in the first place is beyond me.
They're
I
just
don't
so
understand.
funny. They're
'Cause it's
so
hilarious.
funny.
So have you ever read Cycle of the Werewolf?
Yes.
That's based on.
I have the
I own
original
it,
picture
and I
book.
love it
Yeah.
because it's like it's like an elongated short story with illustrations.
Yeah.
And the whole thing takes place over like one full year, and there's 12 chapters, and there's an illustration for every chapter. It's awesome. It's really,
The
really
one I
good.
have is like a literal like picture book.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll
That's like
I'll,
the original release. Yeah.
I'll show you the one that I have. Maybe we don't have the same edition, I would say. But I remember we talked about in like the Future of Horror episode, like one thing that you'd like to see remade and done better. And I think Silver Bullet, the thing that I mentioned, because
You did
I-
actually mention
that
that.
would
I
be
remember
that like if they
I
did a
think you guys
scarier
both
version
did
of Silver
series.
Bullet,
the
it'd be
Stephen
really
King
cool.
draft, which I think we had, right?
Yep.
You both picked.
Yeah, Cycle of the Werewolf or Silver Bullet. But I mean, that could be an awesome 12-episode Netflix series. You wouldn't have to do hour-long episodes. You could do a half hour each one for each month with werewolf shit. It'd be sick.
So I just want to know, real quick, where your mind's at.
Yeah.
So, word association. You hear the name
Oh my God.
Gary Busey.
Yep.
To me, there's only one other actor that you immediately associate
Steve
with Gary
Buscemi.
Busey. No.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nick Nolte. That is 100%
Nolte.
correct, and I love.
Yes, of
very
course.
nice.
Yeah, that's. I feel like
That you suck. I
They've-
thought that
they've
like they
always-
are the same person.
they've always been
Why-
joined.
They're both
It's
just
weird.
drunken maniacs.
Yeah, they're just lunatics.
Yeah.
Before we get off, since we're talking about that Von Trier movie that has Willem Dafoe in it, so have you guys heard about that they're finally moving forward with this Robert Eggers remake of Nosferatu? Okay, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
And Willem Dafoe's in it, right?
Yes, so listen to this cast, and they haven't revealed out of these people who is playing Nosferatu yet. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Willem Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult, and Bill Skarsgård are all in this movie.
I've heard from someone who is very, very sure.
I mean, I feel like
I like the scars.
that would make sense. But I mean that it could be like a side swipe too, because he already played Pennywise, but he could play a good
I
Nosferatu.
mean,
obviously
Willem
Willem
Dafoe
Dafoe.
you would think would be-
Can you
did.
also remember Shadow of a Vampire?
Yeah, that's what I was
that's
saying.
what
So
I was
Willem,
saying.
Willem
So
Dafoe
He
did.
did that, and he was absolutely that movie. Fucking
Rocks.
underrated,
Yeah,
by
it's
the
good
way.
movie. Good
Very good movie, and he absolutely. Willem Dafoe. There's no role. If Willem Dafoe's role is to look like a fucking goblin, then he'll kill it because he's
It's like a
Kinda
goblin.
looks
because he is a goblin,
like, yeah,
and to
Great
play
actor,
a vampire kind of sounds about right.
fantastic actor, great actor though,
Huge penis.
huge dick.
John Wick Chapter 1. He's actually very good in that movie.
Yeah.
Did you see the John Wick movies?
Yeah. I saw the first two.
I still haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
No, Kat loves them.
I love them. They're awesome. The
Yeah.
John Wick movies.
There's only
I
so
have-
much time.
I have
There's
one more
another one
movie that I
coming
want
out.
to.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you had anything else.
This is a movie I actually almost rented like 2 months ago, and I'm glad I didn't because now it's free on Tubi.
Okay.
This is called Baskin,
Oh, I've seen that movie. I know. I that was
the
like
Turkish one.
like 7 years when it first came out.
Yeah, like
And I
2015.
barely
yeah.
remember it. So as soon as you start talking about it, I'll have it.
Yeah, so it's this group of guys, and I think they're like a security team or police force or something like that, and they're heading to this like building, and they end up getting in, and it's just like I don't want to give a lot of it away because it's the less you know about it, the more shocking and insane it all is when it all comes.
Okay.
But they kind of encounter like hell on it. It has a lot of trying to think of like what to compare it to. there's parts of it that remind me almost of like Suspiria, I think, art shot wise.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like Event Horizon as well. Not so much of like what's left behind, but like some of the imagery you think you would look
Right.
at.
Is this this is French, right?
This is Turkish.
Turkish.
I thought it was French too.
It seems French.
Yeah, but then
Boston.
when I was like looking into it, I was like, oh, this is actually from Turkey. This is a really fucked up movie. Very extreme, very over the top. Which that's why I think I thought it was French, because I was like, this has to be like New French Extremity,
it's like
with like Inside and Martyrs, and you know what I mean. It falls right
raw.
It
raw
nuzzles
French.
right into that category.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check it out.
This is where I turn into
This
Cat.
reminded me of that Indonesian movie that we watched.
The one that I suggested.
Yes.
I forget the name.
Tumbak.
Tumbak.
Oh,
Tumbak.
I didn't watch that yet.
It
That movie's
has
so
that
good.
kind
I
of
know.
vibe to it.
Well, that's kind of like Apostles, the same thing as Tumbak.
Yeah.
I think it's the same movie.
Apostle's a good movie too.
Apostles,
Yeah.
excellent movie.
Yeah.
So check
Tell
this
me-
one
no,
out if
so
you're
it's-
up for something
yeah.
fucking crazy.
This is where I wish I wasn't like Cat, because I've seen this movie and immediately I go, I remember nothing from this movie.
It was funny when I posted it on my
Brain
story.
smashed.
When I posted the poster on my story, I had a handful of people like message me and they were like, "Yo, dude, like that
I
movie
remember
fucked."
liking the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Which is a
Give it another
shame.
watch. It's
Yeah, I
fucking
have to,
sick.
because my fucking mush brain doesn't.
Okay.
I watched
recognize.
Apostle, though, right?
We did an episode on Apostle,
Okay.
so yeah.
My-
I was just thinking that. I was like,
sentiments
I know I
exactly.
didn't do the tomb.
Yeah, you weren't on that one. It was,
That
that was
movie-
the three of
that
us.
movie's
That,
awesome.
That movie was
I
great.
fucking
need
love
to-
that
I
movie.
need to add that to my list.
You would
but-
like it. It almost has some like
It's like a Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth
kind of
vibes. I was
thing.
gonna
that.
say, yeah. It's
I love
interesting.
That. I
Yeah.
have a watch list.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first movies we did after Matt came on. And Kat, you had something
How
going
do
on.
you?
We can look it up. It's
Good luck.
Yeah, it's
TUMBAQTAZ.
Tumbad, maybe something like that.
TZYX
Yeah.
underscore fuck yourself. I don't know.
Those are all my watches. I do want to say I have one little tidbit of upcoming movie information. I saw this the other
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Viggo Mortensen set to star in David Cronenberg's new film, The Shrouds. It's a movie which takes place in a world where
Cronenberg
people...
loves Vigo.
Is that 3 now?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
A
off.
few, at least. Yeah,
Well, you
it's
have
gotta be
History of
3.
Violence,
Crimes of the Future.
Crimes of the Future. So yes,
There
3.
might be even one more.
Eastern Promises.
Eastern Promises, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen that movie.
it's good. Really good. Sorry, Matt.
The film will take place in a world where people can watch their deceased relatives decaying in real time. So
Jesus
this is very Cronenberg, very just bleak, dark, and
dude, he's going
just
hard.
this dude just is the ultimate director who confronts the fear of death and just the
Decay.
just the wrecking of the. And it's
He
fucking
seems
fascinating.
like someone
to me.
that just seeks immortality and will never find it.
I don't even think it's that. I think
Well, I
he's
think his
just
movies portray
fascinated
that.
with
Like, I don't
how-
think he feels that way, but like Crimes of the Future, because I forgot about that movie. I watched that movie. Weirdest fucking
Yeah.
movie. It's one of the weirdest fucking movies I've ever watched. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And Viggo Mortensen absolutely fucking kills in that movie.
I think David Cronenberg has.
No, isn't that Brandon?
No, you're thinking of Infinity Crew.
Cry-
That was
Oh,
Brandon
I see. I
Cronenberg.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
I think
He also
David-
did Possessor. There it goes.
Yeah. I think David Cronenberg has an incredible amount of things to say about the human body and how it is so vulnerable to our own thoughts and destructive bear, and how it completely fucking most hyperbolic way possible. Obviously with Video on the Fly, fucking everything he's made pretty much. So
All those movies are insane.
Yeah.
Just insane. The Fly.
David
is
Cronenberg
disgusting.
he's got to be one of my favorite horror.
He also has one of the best acting roles.
Why? Because he's in Nightbreed.
Yeah.
I fucking love him in Nightbreed as a serial killer.
You love Nightbreed?
Fucking, that movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Every time you get excited, your chair goes.
It's like,
down.
yeah, it's just
Oh my
down,
God.
down, baby. Oh, seat on. No, that's not the lyrics.
Just be
Low
careful.
street on a Range Rover. Boom, boom, baby. Ready to let it go. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. Listen to me now.
The fact that we haven't covered a Cronenberg movie on this podcast yet, it kind of drives me insane.
I
know what?
kind of
But
want to
that
do
leaves-
Dead Ringers because that show's coming out with Rachel Weisz that I can't fucking
Dead
wait
Ringers is fucked up.
for. And they're doing that with Rachel Weisz, Mike.
I know. I saw
Rachel
I
Weisz.
saw
We all know how you feel about her. And
I saw the She is in the 1999 Academy Award winner for Best Picture,
The Mummy.
Mummy.
Yes.
Okay.
She's one of the most beautiful
She's
women
the-
that's ever
She's
existed.
the
in
woman
my
from the
personal-
Mummy.
She's
okay.
she's attractive. Married to James Bond, Daniel Craig, in real life, IRL. Cool.
Good pull for that 60-year-old man.
Yeah. Right.
Is Daniel Craig that old?
No.
I feel like he's almost 60.
I feel like he's 48.
Dude, there is
No
absolutely
way.
no way that Daniel Craig is 60.
He looks like a stud, but he's probably like almost 60.
I bet Daniel Craig's younger than
58.
you.
I'm going to go with 58. 58.
Let's see.
Daniel Craig was 58 years old.
who is as fucking shredded as the day is long.
Christ on his cross.
32. He is 54.
Jesus.
That's still pretty old. If you're in your mid
Oh, yeah,
50s,
and he's in
you're old.
the Knives Out movies and
Yeah.
Glass Onion.
Yeah,
I kinda
yeah,
wanna watch
love
those
it.
movies.
Oh, you have to watch them. Watch them.
But I feel like a
It's
loser watching those movies.
Why?
They're pretty good.
Oh, you've seen them?
I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one.
Oh! So Matt's seen them.
Well,
and
they're
you're
kind of like, are they like
they're
a,
not dumb.
are they like,
Oh,
on a
pink,
day
are they
or
like a
not.
Pink Panther type
That's
movie?
fine.
No, they're like
No.
Clue.
Inspector Clouseau.
It's
Yeah.
like Clue.
Well, Pink Panther's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Every time I say something stupid, my chair goes
Exactly.
down. I'm like Pinocchio, except my nose
Mike
doesn't
has
get
a
bigger
button.
Dude,
because
I'm
my nose
telling
can't
you.
get any bigger.
I'm telling you that your foot is hitting the lever.
I'm
No,
telling you
it's
right now,
I know what it's
I do not have that flexibility.
You just did it. You just
I did it, and it still didn't do anything. I have
You're
to
all
like.
the way down.
Now I just did it, and you know how bad my ankle hurts now from doing that?
Oh,
I didn't
my
do that by
God.
fucking accident.
All right.
No one asked you.
Matt,
anyway.
thank you for your contributions.
You're welcome.
It's the chair.
As
It's
always,
broken.
I love talking about
I can't wait to the description of this episode to be like Andrew struggles with
It's
the
already
chair.
going down.
The
It's
episode.
already going down. Can you feel
I
it?
also think
I was here.
that the picture needs to just be that we should share the link of that guy who's like we all saw a Leprechaun and they showed the drawing.
Yes,
just
that
his
would
face
be-
when he's like.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Like,
Perfect.
I can't
be
do
perfect. Perfect. Just perfect. Just perfect. All right, who's up next? Kat, have you watched anything spooky over the last week?
No.
No. Okay. I know you and I have not collectively had a lot of time to watch a lot of
haven't
things.
had
We've been,
time to watch anything this
Yeah, I
week.
know.
It's
Pretty.
just been
A lot
kinda
going on
nuts.
with the baby and everything. So yeah, it's. I will say the only thing I can report on. Actually, I have two things. So Andrew, if you have anything you want to talk about?
The reason I talked so long in that last episode because I knew I had nothing to say.
Okay,
So I
fair
was trying to
enough.
extend that. I did watch one movie, a rewatch. I watched The Ruins. Very underrated.
Oh, good.
movie.
You watched The Ruins.
I love
Okay,
The
nice,
Ruins.
nice,
I think
nice.
it's very good.
Yes.
Jenna Malone.
Still
She's
should read that
good.
book.
I heard the books. I wish I read.
It's awesome.
I wish I read
It's awesome.
just to read
You could.
a book.
Certainly
I
could.
could.
I mean, you
you
always
say that
can,
until
but
and then
it's-
you see me reading and I'm just reading it and I go.
I can picture you watching
It's
it.
like I have
for-
a stroke and I just fall asleep. I
I can picture you reading it
for
for
more than
5 minutes and being like, "This is boring. I'm putting on Seinfeld."
That's what I.
I
That's
no.
how
I
function.
immediately
He
fall asleep. I
understands
can't.
me.
I'm not stupid. I know how to read.
Same. Same.
I
No
know.
interest.
I know that you know
I
how to read.
understand
Yes,
you.
I
I'm in
understand.
the
I have
same
the
boat.
ability to read.
I am and by day, I'm a communications director. Like I can write and I can read, but I choose not
Choose
to.
not to in my free
on my
time.
free time. Like
fair.
I don't want to.
Okay.
If we're gonna announce jobs, I'm a window cleaner.
No,
so
it doesn't
Most
matter,
people
I'm
would
just
assume that I
saying,
can't
like, I
read, and you
don't
could.
like
I'm a
to-
communications manager.
Meanwhile, you know, there's an
cool.
English major among us who
Yeah, because he's the one that can
corrects me in everything.
He's
I
the
do.
one guy that can speak clearly on the podcast.
Correct.
So
Because I'm just like,
Speak and spell. Speak and spell.
I'm like, oh.
sometimes my brain go duh, and I go fucking. What am I even saying?
I know. It's okay. It happens to all of us from time
I
to time.
know.
No, I'm saying because it happens to me too.
He's the proofreader.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. So I completed my 3-season rewatch of True Detective. By the way, obviously, as I mentioned last week, season 1 is far and away the best.
How
of the
long
three.
did it take you to do that?
Like 4 days.
That's fucking.
I watched 24 episodes of television.
So
in
that's
4
24
days.
hours of television because those are all about an hour.
Yeah, actually, 24 hours plus.
I gotta say.
But
That's
when I
what
was,
we call
you know,
dedication.
again, when your work is in the off season and you're at home with your newborn daughter with her all day, you have a lot of
Right.
time to be watching
Yes.
things. So I did watch all 3
I've watched
seasons.
nothing.
Okay. What are you trying to say? Huh? What are you trying
Seems
to say?
like a you problem because you don't know how to
Dude,
manage your
watched,
baby.
Okay, you have watched 10,000 episodes of The Great British Baking Show. I just decided to watch True Detective.
You also
instead.
watch
Oh, yes.
Wednesday.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
you
you
actually
watched-
just don't remember what you fucking watched.
Like that was on my maternity.
Yeah, but you also
That's
watched
true, yeah.
We Have a Ghost or whatever that movie was called that you didn't remember. You probably
I
still
did
don't remember.
because you said
Already
you wanted...
forgot about it. She's like,
I
that
did,
movie?
and I didn't
She's
really
like,
watch the whole
did
thing.
we watch this movie together? You're like, no, you watched it by yourself. And
No,
she's
like
well,
literally
it didn't
this
happen.
last week.
Someone watched
Yes.
it.
Someone watched.
She watched it.
It was like Beetlejuice.
Yep. Yes, that's
like
what we talked
something
about.
else.
But then you said, oh, it's not
something
like
else. I don't.
Beetlejuice.
It's not, and I
something
don't
else.
know what it is. I still don't remember what it is. But
Anywho,
Well, shame on you.
so I am here to say that after watching
Shame.
all 3 seasons in succession and binging all of them and watching all of them back to back and not having them be released week to week, season 2 was way better than I remember,
really,
and season 3 was not as good as I remember. I am very
So-
surprised to say.
I will agree with you on one point. Season 2 is very good.
It is
Underrated.
It's-
Colin Farrell's fucking phenomenal.
He's awesome
I love
in it.
him.
He's great.
Hot.
Yes, we know.
I don't care if he's hot.
He's a very
just
attractive man.
He's a very underrated
Speaking
actor.
of Irishmen,
Hot.
yes, he's a
All we can
Hey,
think.
he
so
got
you
to win
think
an
of.
Oscar
So
a couple
here's
Yeah,
what you
he's
think
gonna,
about with,
probably.
when you think about Colin Farrell. You think about one of the first Family Guy skits, season 2, where they had
Yeah.
Colin Farrell with his stupid
with his beanie on.
He's
Yeah,
in-
that's pretty funny. Riff on him. Yeah.
Like, but he's
Stewie's,
a very good
Stewie's
actor.
just making fun of him.
Yeah.
It's like 95 degrees outside. And you're just sitting there in your wool hat, your cigarette. Oh, because that's cool. Yeah, with your wool hat, your knit hat. Oh my God, I
'Cause-
hate you.
Back
pretty
then,
funny.
he was just a Jennifer Aniston. He was like
Well,
a
I mean-
hot body, nice face.
See,
Like,
here's what happens, okay? And I think True Detective
Not
is
that
a
I think he's
okay. So two examples from True Detective.
I think he's hot. It's okay.
Matthew
He's an
McConaughey.
attractive.
He's
man.
a fucking
He's gorgeous.
really
He's a
attractive
handsome man.
Like,
So Matthew McConaughey in season 1 and Colin Farrell in season 2. Both those roles kind of helped them move away. Colin Farrell had probably already been doing it a little bit, but McConaughey got so much pub for his role in season 1 of True Detective. It helped him get more serious roles moving forward and move away from those like heartthrob roles, which, you know, Colin Farrell, Matthew McConaughey, Brad Pitt, all these great actors, DiCaprio, like all these actors that we think are great now, started off their career with those types of roles and then moved into more serious things. And those are
Right.
probably 4 of the most talented actors
He's
in
like
Hollywood
DiCaprio,
right now.
You
You
know,
know?
Wolf
Okay,
of Wall
so,
Street. He's a terrible-looking man.
Better or worse?
Like,
No, I'm not saying that they're not
No, no, no.
still handsome,
I'm
but they're
giving you
giving
a
better
or worse.
roles
No, I'm
to
giving you a
work
better or
with.
worse,
Fair,
real quick.
yes.
McConaughey or Farrell?
In terms of what, acting or handsomeness? What are you talking about?
Well, what do you think I'm talking about? I'm not
Acting
some
roles?
detective. I'm
Or
talking
just in
about
general?
better actor. McConaughey or Farrell?
Career,
Overall?
career, or in
I
True
don't know.
Detective?
Career? What does that even mean? Like,
overall, pick one.
because
A
they're
or
both
B.
the same. Actually, one guy is way better and has always been better. So there's only one answer.
I
Very
think Matthew
simple.
McConaughey is the
Very
best.
simple question.
yeah.
A or B.
Dallas Buyers Club.
The
I
Lobster?
never saw Delbars.
I haven't seen the Lobster.
Killing of a Sacred Deer?
I also haven't
In
seen
Bruges?
Man, that's an A24.
that. I know.
That's a really tough question. I think I like Colin Farrell in more movies than McConaughey.
In Bruges?
Even
yeah.
SWAT.
In Bruges, yeah. SWAT, not SWAT, not SWAT.
Banshees
Phone
of Inisherin.
Booth? Oh, Phone Booth, actually, I didn't really hate that movie. the first
Since
time,
2010, which is a rough gauge, I think Colin Farrell's been in way better movies than Matthew
Well,
McConaughey.
he's gonna
Dallas
win
Buyers
an
Club,
Oscar.
Interstellar.
Interstellar might be my favorite movie that's ever existed,
Yes.
and Matthew McConaughey kills it. So actually, I don't even know. That's such a hard question.
And obviously, McConaughey, he won an Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club, but have you ever met
He's
anyone that said...
unbelievable in that movie.
So-
It is good, but has anyone ever said
Wait.
that like that's one of their favorite movies?
Have you ever
No,
seen?
no.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Have you ever,
It's awful.
have you ever seen Mud?
Yeah, Mud's a really good
Mud's
movie.
phenomenal.
Yes.
Hello. As
Texas
a woman,
Chainsaw Massacre: The
as
Next
the woman,
Generation.
the heterosexual woman of this podcast.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you for clarifying.
I would like solely
You're gonna ask,
as
who would
an
you want to
actor-
fuck?
Well, it depends.
Is that the
So,
question
no,
that's coming
not
up?
Really, the question.
You said-
the question is who's better. As an actor, Matthew McConaughey is a better
No,
actor.
no, wrong.
Colin Farrell is a much more attractive.
Colin Farrell's a
than
way
Matthew
better
McConaughey.
actor than Matthew McConaughey. It's not even close.
Well, because what? Because of Penguin?
No,
Why?
I
He's
was the
been in,
Penguin.
and he's also
Got
been
the
the
Penguin,
Penguin.
yeah, Penguin's
Colin
good.
Farrell is
the Batman?
Very good. Matthew
He's
McConaughey
good?
is
No,
the same
I-
guy in every...
I really,
All right.
Last time I checked.
but he's good at what he
Okay,
does.
can we
He's
move on?
really good at what he does.
I know the answer to this. I know the answer to this question. Yeah,
More attractive.
You brought
I'm
it
more
up.
attracted to Colin
I
Farrell.
didn't bring it up.
but-
She brought it
Oh my
up.
God.
But
the two of
Matthew
you right now.
McConaughey is a better actor.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, well I.
Wrong or wrong?
I like Matthew McConaughey better than
Yeah,
Colin
you?
Farrell.
I might lean Farrell there.
All right,
Yeah.
50-50. So
But
we
it's
win.
it's very close. I think it's close.
Tie goes to me.
But I also haven't seen a lot of
You haven't
Colin
seen The
Farrell's
Lobster
best movies.
or Killing of a Sacred Deer. You haven't seen either of those?
or the
movies?
Batman, or
You haven't seen
fucking
Batman?
or Banshees of
Sharon.
Oh yeah, In Bruges. You've seen that.
I mean, In Bruges, The Lobster.
You haven't seen In Bruges?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh my God,
I
In
didn't
Bruges.
see that
Yeah.
either.
So you haven't seen, you
We're
haven't seen
putting
his
you
best
on a.
movies.
I'm
I'm
putting you
way
on a
down.
diet. It's a Colin
I'm
Farrell
way
diet.
down
You
on
have
my
to get-
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, you
age.
gotta watch his
I think
movies.
I
It's
might
very
be
good.
kind of the same.
So anyway, what
That's disappointing.
so yeah, True Detective, and I was scrolling through Facebook earlier today, and I feel like I've been seeing more and more HBO posts on social media featuring True Detective, like seasons 1 through 3 now streaming, new season coming soon. They are dropping that new season very soon, and
Just randomly?
I cannot
Out of
wait.
nowhere?
I,
It's
I
gonna
feel
be
like
out
it's going to
by
help.
May.
It's going to come out real soon.
I was talking to a
Do
guy.
they talk
at
about
work
what it
today
is
about
going to be about?
So I know it's set in Alaska, and that the two Jodie Foster is the main
Jodie
character.
Foster?
Jodie Foster. Yeah.
Maybe it's a fucking Hannibal. No, I'm good.
Sorry, were you saying something? I was
I was just saying, I was talking to a guy at my work today about the same thing. Like, we
Yeah.
were just like, it's got to be out by, like, May.
Yeah, and I know it's
So-
called True Detective Night Country. Takes place in Alaska. I think it might have something to do with a Native American reservation. I'm not sure.
Why
The
would
details
you
are
think-
sparse.
From what I've heard,
Yes.
it's about some sort of research facility where a group of scientists.
Okay,
That's
even
what
better.
I'm
And then some cosmic fucking horror shit happens, and some aliens come
Oh
out of the
my
ground, and there's worms, and Mike is having a jerk off party watching the show. And maybe I am, because
I'm so
Sounds
happy
wrong.
for Mike.
That kind of sounds like True Detective crossed with like The Thing. So needless to say, I am in. So yeah, True Detective. It's awesome.
I mean,
You should
I have
watch
a
it.
boner
Cue up
thinking,
the
can
KY
someone just
jelly.
make that show? Dude, where's the baby oil?
This is a St. Patrick's Day episode if we've ever had one. My goodness.
That sounds like a great. That's what it's True Detective.
How are you gonna
The first season is
how are you
cosmic
gonna tie
horror.
Brazzers into this?
No, it's not.
How do you
There's
tie...
cosmic horror in the first
The
one.
first season.
It doesn't fully go there.
It
but
doesn't
you
get
think
there,
there's-
but it
There's
is.
teases. There's teases. It doesn't fully go. I would not qualify
It's
it as cosmic
ambiguous.
horror.
It's ambiguous.
It is a gothic. It's a
Cult.
gothic story. There's a cult vibes, and there's.
But there's also that there's a link between Woody Harrelson and Hayes characters.
Yeah, they're buddies.
But it's deeper than that.
Hey,
It's like
buddy.
there's like
Hey,
a
buddy.
there's like a telepathic
Maybe they're both Scorpios.
mental thing with them, and like
Yeah.
you got the good and the bad and the dark and the light.
The yin and the yang.
yes.
Yeah, I feel like
You know
that
what?
first season
You're
is
right.
perfect.
Because it really it's so fascinating how well it was written.
So I mean,
It's beautiful.
The reason I say it's like it comes close is because obviously there's all the references to Carcosa and the Yellow King, and that's obviously is a reference from a story called The King in Yellow by Robert Chambers, which is a Lovecraftian story that took inspiration from the writings of H.P. Lovecraft.
I gotta give much.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh yeah, this is one of the
And
best
that
episodes
you
That'll be
combine
number 14.
You
I'm
combine
with Mike
that,
on this. True Detective season 1
that's-
is the best episode of television
Season.
that has ever existed.
So, but they teased the fact that it might go more into horror throughout the whole thing, and it didn't ultimately go there. A couple things, like in addition to that,
The first season?
the green,
First season
the,
is horror.
the green-eared spaghetti monster that they
Yes,
did the police
so
sketch
good.
of,
Yeah.
and then also in addition to that, you have Russ Cole McConaughey went from his time undercover as a undercover drug agent. When he was taking all those drugs, he sees like those visions in the sky of like swirly shit and like
We're
stars.
talking way off topic from our actual topic.
I know, but I'm saying that's
That's a
how
good topic,
I'm
though.
just saying.
That's
I
how it.
approve.
That's how it kind of goes there.
It's
I
kind
will-
of cosmic.
I will say,
There's some cosmic horror.
Think back to the first time you watched True Detective, and you're getting through these episodes, and you get to episode 8. When that episode kicks off,
Yep.
you're in an entirely different fucking vibe than
yeah.
the other 7 hours of content. It gets real fucking dark, dude.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yep.
this is not the kind of fucking shit I was
Yeah.
prepared for.
It is. It is very much worth a rewatch.
Yeah.
when it
This is
happens.
why I think that certain shows and certain movies be marketed different. because this is one of those type of shows that, because when I watched this show, it had already been released, and I was able to watch 1 through 8 every episode and it was so much better because of that. Like, I think that certain shows should be released week, and then other shows should be small.
I can't believe you didn't watch that live.
Well, comedy shows should always be released.
And it's like, if you want to watch this show in one day, you pay $2. You know what I mean? So
Don't give them these fucking
but
ideas.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I mean,
Who are you for?
Whose side are you
I'm
on?
saying that, like, that's
fucking
totally,
capitalist
that's
piece of
totally
shit.
a business model right there. Like, be like, you want to watch all of these?
Yeah,
right
this,
now?
no one was talking about business models. I was just saying, you know, it's better to watch a show from front to finish when it's a show like True Detective Season 1. That's one of those perfect shows to just
Be like, because
binge.
I have all the episodes, but I'm
works.
going to wait to release them to you for 3 weeks just to leave you
They make
sweating in your
more-
couch
but they
and
make more-
marinating there until
They make more money with
release
getting
it.
people to conglomerately
Right.
view things like they are
Right.
with the Last of Us.
Oh yeah, and just so you know,
also
there is
true.
absolutely no way that we're waiting to the end of Yellow Jackets to watch the second season. We are getting Showtime that very first week, so that's going to happen.
I've decided I'm going to wait, and I don't want to hear a thing about it.
You're
I'm
a crazy
going to watch
person.
it in 2 weeks.
You're crazy.
No,
You're a
you
crazy
watch it
person.
as it comes out. It's fucking great.
No,
No.
see, I
Have
don't
you
like
watched
that
the first
style.
season?
Just
I
come
did,
over
and I
here.
watched it, but
You can.
my preference is to get. It's like you get in like a rhythm in anything, sports, hanging out. Like you get in a rhythm and you just want to watch something. Like I'll start watching that at 5 o'clock at night.
Well, if you
Just watch the
want,
all of it,
entire
yeah.
thing, and then
Well,
be
it's
like,
because it's good.
yeah, because and then that's just you get the full experience. Because I forget things because my
Okay.
stupid brain doesn't remember
all right,
anything.
fair,
So
fair.
you should be on the same boat.
Okay. So instead of getting Showtime, you could just pass $10 the entire series at the end.
What a weird thing to fucking say to somebody.
What's
Are you
Cat's all about
It's
just
just
making
like-
money right now, dude.
Is this like a
$10 really worth that
Like,
much to
you-
you?
Is this a
Like-
GoFundMe
Christ.
account?
Just-
Shut the
Just,
fuck
like,
up.
screwing everybody out of money.
I'm just like, I would wait to watch the show. What are you,
Because
Showtime?
you have to be like,
You are Showtime. You're worse than Showtime. You're making money off of what they
It's
do.
like, I
and
can
going,
charge you for
you
an
know what
episode,
this
I
costs? $30 a
You wanna come
second.
over?
Go fuck
$1
yourself.
an episode? Like, you come over and pay me $1.
How about this? How about you make me some chicken thighs and roasted potatoes and your delicious gravy, and then I'll come over and
Ever
watch it for
since
free.
you talked about that chicken, sorry, we were way off topic.
Way off topic.
It's fine. We're just gonna cut this.
Let's moving
have
on,
a
moving
fucking
on,
aneurysm.
moving on.
Ever since
I mean,
you
this
talked
is
about
gold,
frying
actually.
that
Gold,
chicken
Jerry,
at the
gold.
BBC, I've literally fried like every piece of chicken
It's the
that
best.
I've cooked since then, and it's so good.
Yeah, it's
So
the
you
best.
bring chicken into the BBC? Is that what you're saying?
No. Me and Matt had a drink at the BBC.
And then you talked about
And we talked
brining
about
chicken,
brining
and now
chicken.
you've brined literally everything you've thought of. You're like, I'm brining it.
No,
and
well,
fattening
I
it.
did chicken breast that time. You said they were really good. You had
And she was
them.
like, Matt
You
inspired
had
me.
them.
Fuck you, Matt. I'm brining
Yes,
everything.
I'm
It was
gonna-
basically like,
I'm
fuck
fucking
you, Matt.
brine
I'm brining everything.
everything.
You
I'm
want to
gonna
talk
brine
about
every
brine?
See
fucking
brine?
thing.
Oh, you want to see brine? How about 8 months of brine? It's a new fucking movie. It's called Brine Barian, and you're gonna get fucked. You think you got an Airbnb? This is Brine Barian. You're getting fucked up.
The Berenstein Bears.
What are we talking?
No,
What-
Brine Barian, like Barbarian, but Brine Barian is cat just murdering people
God.
because they don't brine anything. And she's like, you don't even know what brine is.
See, that's
I
why
feel like
you
that's
shrank.
good
You
conversation.
shrank because
This is
you-
for the Patreons. They can get this backstage cut when this gets cut. Clearly, this is getting cut.
We should sell the fucking. I'm gonna take a
back
page out of
The
Cat's
back
book.
footage?
We should be selling the uncut fucking episodes on Patreon.
Because there's a lot of
certainly
fucking
could.
wild thoughts.
There are certainly lots of wild thoughts.
Brine Barians. I should make some T-shirts.
it's a good idea.
Well,
Brine
look at you-
Barian.
Look at you, Shorty George.
You're
over
a Brine
here.
Barian,
Like-
and you're a Brine Barian, and we
You
are
just-
just mean, just pheasants.
Pinocchio,
Just a
you-
couple Justin Longs trying to measure the basement.
Jesus
Pinocchio,
Christ.
you just like
Really?
shrunk
Seriously?
5 inches.
Oh
What are you
my
doing
God.
over here? You're so small.
Like a,
It's what everyone
channeling
tells
his
me.
inner Warwick Davis.
I guess this is what I get for bringing up True Detective and that I watched it.
No, it's a great.
and
No,
20
this is
minutes
what
of
I love
conversation
about.
about
You know what I love about the
True
show, Mike, is that we just talk. This is just talking.
Because it's a podcast.
If you cut anything, I'll cut your fucking throat.
Oh,
So,
Wow.
how about that?
Wow, that's a threat.
No, you ride with it. You ride or
that's
die.
I'm going to save that as a drop for the future.
That's all. Hey, we have that on.
Cut that. I'm going to cut your fucking throat.
So when the police come looking for me next week, they're going to be like,
Yeah, can we?
I'm
That's a
pretty
good
sure you,
sound bit.
I'm pretty sure you told this guy. I'm like Alex Murdoch. I'm like, I didn't kill
Me?
him.
I was
No,
high
that
on
was
Percocet.
me. That was not me.
My kid came up on me with a gun, shot him in the face. Fucking.
Oh, God.
I mean,
All right.
he's in jail for life.
Aside from before we take a quick break and then cover our movie, one last thing. I did finish another book. I didn't read it, Andrew. I listened to it. It was really good.
You should have just said
Doesn't
read it.
count.
Yep.
You
Here
get
we go.
no credit.
So it's called Classic Monsters Unleashed.
You read like a book?
No, he didn't read shit.
Okay.
The
and
same way you read toilet paper, that's what he read.
Fair.
God, really. So it's called Classic Monsters Unleashed. It's a short story collection featuring some of my favorite horror authors like Jonathan Mayberry, Richard Christian Matheson, Joe Lansdale, and it basically is modern takes or updated takes on classic monsters of literature. So we're talking like Dracula, Frankenstein, werewolf stories. There's a story that kind of riffs on The Fly a little bit. There's a story that riffs on The Blob, like really like versions of like The Invisible Man and Creatures of the Black Lagoon, all that type of thing. So it's actually really interesting. It's really good. I listened to the audio version on Google Play Books, so I'd recommend if you're looking for something to listen to, Classic Monsters Unleashed. It's about 12 hours.
It's like a couple short stories.
It's like almost 30 short stories.
That's wild.
Not all of them are great.
Those seem like very short stories.
Overall,
right?
though, there's a lot of good ones in there. A lot
What do
of
you say?
gems.
Longest one, 40 words?
Probably-
40 pages, I mean.
Longest one was, listening
Something
to
like
it.
40
words.
pages?
No, 40 pages is a good
That's
size.
a solid.
Okay.
Short
So I think the
story. 40
longest
words
I
is
think
like a
the
nothing.
longest
40
story
words
that
is a sentence?
the longest story that I listened to was probably about 38
No?
minutes.
That's
So-
probably about
yeah.
a minute a page.
Yeah. Plus, I listened to it on like 1.4
No,
speed, so
less
it like
than
goes
that.
by.
Because they read like emphatically.
Okie doke. So yeah, that's what I got. Anybody else got anything else before we move on to tonight's flick? Okay. Why don't we take a quick 90-second break for a word from our sponsors? We'll be right back.
It's official. The critic's decision is in.
Spooky World is spooktacular.
Enter the new black hole.
If you dare.
Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park. Spooky World.
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula.
Biffle, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry.
But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I got berry-flavored sweeties for monster strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
Sleepy Clovers.
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then be next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
And so Kat just brought up a good point while our sponsors were chiming in that we probably at this point should probably just call this episode the America's Hometown Horror St. Patrick's Day special and not necessarily Leprechaun, since we've now talked for almost 50 minutes about everything but Leprechaun. But here we are, Lassies. We're going to talk about Leprechaun right now, which if you've never seen Leprechaun, I would say good for you. It's a 1993 movie that
Good for you.
feels about every bit as old as it actually is, which that means that I'm old as well, because I was 7 years old when this movie came out. But anyway, yeah, we're talking about Leprechaun, but before we do, just St. Patrick's Day type stuff. Andrew, I think you had a St. Patrick's Day question for all of us, correct?
I did, but I dropped my phone. My question was actually, what is your favorite St. Patrick's Day holiday special cartoon, TV show, whatever you want it to be?
Okay.
I mean, I know what yours is.
Who wants to go first?
Me.
Go ahead.
Always Sunny.
Yeah, the Always Sunny one is very, very good. Where Charlie thinks he catches the leprechaun, and you get a lot of, Mac finally moving into fully like the hey, I'm gay, like,
but also
still not
she's
admitting
crazy party.
Well, that's actually there's a couple episodes that she does that.
Old Irish stereotypes.
Yeah, and they have the St. Patrick's Day bus where they're just like kidnapping people essentially and driving through the woods
people,
to give them an authentic Irish experience.
Party.
Yeah, so good. My God. That's a great episode. Yeah, actually, Dee's characters are a very underrated part of itself. Yeah, so that's a great episode. The St. Patrick's Day special. Always Sunny has a lot of Irish shit. They went to Ireland for a full season. Love that show.
Yeah, the end of that season's sad as fuck.
It is. I feel like they've really crossed over into like some heavy dramatic territory with the last couple.
They're growing up.
Sure are. They sure are. Matt, what's your favorite St. Patrick's Day TV episode?
This is a hard one that I wasn't prepared for. I'm going to just kind of wing it. And I'm going to use imagination South Park because they are chasing on.
True.
I love that.
I'm also going to say South Park as well, and the more recent episode entitled "The St. Patrick's Day Special," which of course is a Tegrity Farms episode.
Yes.
I don't love the Tegrity Farm stuff.
See that one, I don't either. But this one's very good. Where of course Randy and Towley are coming up with a St. Patrick's Day special, and it's funny because like Butters is the only one out of all the kids that's really into St. Patrick's Day.
Everybody.
Yeah, he's pinching everybody and getting canceled.
Yes.
Exactly. And he gets thrown in jail, and Randy dresses up as a leprechaun, and Butters thinks he's an actual leprechaun. So it's a really good episode. The Tegrity Farms shtick where it's welcome, like I feel like pretty quickly, but there are some very good episodes in there. Some very good Tegrity.
But I mean, all in all, like
this season's been very good.
Very good. The Japanese toilet one, I was crying.
That was
funny. Absolutely crying, laughing. Oh my God.
But I mean, Tegrity Farms, I feel like is just over its welcome, kind of like it would have been cool for like a few episodes, but like it got way.
The thing for me was that South Park was never meant to be a continuing storyline series.
Yeah.
No.
So when that happened, I was getting kind of bummed out, and I was like, I've been watching South Park live. I mean, up until 2019, I had watched every episode air since
impressive.
2008.
Wow.
Damn.
And so it was this. I was like, I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
I can't fucking watch South Park at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday.
I kind of felt that way about like the Trump era ones where Mr. Garrison is like their stand-in for Trump, and I feel like that got old fast. Yeah,
that's when it started, and they kind of got into this weird thing where every episode was like part of this continuing line, and I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit about this. Yeah. Like now this season has been like banger.
It's been very good so far.
Yeah.
All 3 episodes have been very funny. And I actually think some of the funnier things that they've done, like recently, were the Paramount Plus COVID specials.
Yes.
I thought those were actually
awesome.
like really, really good.
They were kind of. There's part of them though, like South Park's always done this, where like they're so real though. Like part of it was kind of sad. Like fuck, like the drought situation and like this and the other thing, and like.
They've always been very top, but even more so lately. I feel like maybe we're just old enough to realize how topical it actually is.
Right?
You know?
And you're not like, oh, it's funny. It's like, no,
Mind
it's real.
blown.
Shout out Matt Stone and Trey Parker for signing a $900 million deal.
Yeah, right? Jesus Christ.
Fucking well deserved.
More on Trey Parker and a little bit to say about him related to this movie. So, anyway, Andrew.
Kind of think a lot of that South Park bullshit is kind of like the worst things I've ever watched. I feel like it's just trash. And I'm not interested in it. Like some of it's good, but I feel like they really they know how to manipulate people to a point where they can just play out every race that you want to play out, and they don't do anything unique. It's just a lot of fucking horse shit.
Have you watched any of the new season?
I've seen, and they're very funny, but I still think like they're doing the same fucking thing. You're just manipulating people to get a reaction
of everything.
And you're not like that cool. Also,
yes,
they're Canadian. So
no, they're not.
Well, they might as well be. Well, they're from what, Colorado?
That's America.
No, but they act. Do they not act like Canadians?
In what way?
There are
Like, what are you
Canadians.
talking-
Like
what do you mean?
Ike is a Canadian.
Yeah, there are
which is
Canadian
Stan's
characters in the
brother.
They act like fucking assholes. No one has time for that. They're fucking
the guys
dickheads.
that make.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
Trey Stone and Trey Parker and Matt Stone are the biggest fucking condescending, over fucking stimulated jerk bags.
That's
that
the
I've-
whole point of the show. Dude.
I get it, but they think they're better than that. Like I have no time for that.
Okay.
They just did sign a contract for $900 million.
I mean,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because they made a movie like
Pretty
basketball
cool.
and basketball.
We should probably talk
Baseball
about
rocks.
the movie.
That movie's so
Baseball-
bad.
Baseball rocks.
This movie's terrible.
It is terrible, but it rocks.
Yes, it does rock, but they also shouldn't be paid shit for their shit fucking shows that they put out.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Soderbergh is the
disagree.
best.
I'm gonna. I was gonna say,
yeah,
of all the
I
things I've
mean-
heard you say before on this show and off the show, that might have been
That was a hot take.
Pretty,
the hottest take I've ever heard you drop.
I
Yeah.
think South Park is trash.
Wow.
Made for
Controversial
fucking
Andrew in the
teenagers
building.
that don't know how to fucking jerk off yet. You might as well be a fucking loser.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't fucking.
Can't even jerk off.
Wow.
You don't even know how to jerk off.
Sometimes we just disagree, and I think this is one of those.
That's a jerk off show, isn't it? No.
Can you give me a brief synopsis of what your favorite episode of St. Patrick's Day is?
It's-
You're the
To
last
jerk
one to go.
off to?
Leprechaunicus or something close to that. It's an episode from Aqua Teen Hunger Force where
Yes.
a couple of leprechauns create a rainbow maker, and they're just eventually it turns out they're just stealing shoes from like Fryman and
Fryman.
Great.
and
That's great.
Fryman.
Frylock.
Frylock.
I'm so glad you're
No, you know who calls him Fryman? Hey, Fryman! It's
But
fucking
then-
Carl. Carl calls him
Fryman.
Fryman. Hey,
Hungry
Fryman.
Come on, Jake.
Yeah. Hey, Shake. Hey, Fryman.
All right.
Well,
Dude,
let's
that
talk
show
about
fucking
Leprechaun
rocks.
Dude, it is.
now.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force fucking Sims.
That's a great show.
That first season is phenomenal.
Great
I don't
show to
care what
watch,
anybody
Hi.
says.
So Leprechaun. I think this movie sucks. And
Socks, really?
I think it is
I'm
an absolute piece
surprised
of
about
trash.
I
think there are maybe a few and far between redeeming qualities of this movie. Mainly I'll give them props for doing practical effects. I think that Warwick Davis looks pretty good in the Leprechaun makeup
Rhode Island?
of Willow fame. But personally, I'm not actually offended by anything. I hate that this is the biggest horror movie associated with St. Patrick's Day as an Irish American through and through. It drives me fucking insane. This movie sucks. The sequels all suck. I get that they're supposed to be campy, stupid things. It's just not my type of movie. And this movie, I was just like, oh my god, it is so corny and so cheesy and so poorly written and so poorly acted for the most part that I almost enjoyed it for what it was when I was rewatching it last time for the first time in years. But you know
who you
I
sound
decided
like?
I wanted to come in hot tonight because I have not really shit on a movie in a long time.
Shit on it.
So yeah. This movie
Cue the
stinks.
soundboard.
To quote Chappelle's show, this movie stinks and I hate it. So
I wish I had more hands so I could
give
give
those
this movie
titties
4 thumbs down.
The milk has gone bad. So anyway, those are my brief thoughts on Leprechaun. Yes, give me my pot of gold. Oh my god, there's so much stupid dialogue in this movie. It drives me insane.
Well, the dialogue is
Bad.
terrible.
Some would say purposefully bad, and I get that.
No. See,
Also,
that's the thing I don't get.
it's
It's
not
like
meant
when
to
they
be-
put up
it's gotta
be a horror
when they
comedy.
rank
I know,
movies
of
as
course
horror
it is,
comedy
of
though.
course it
No. You don't get that fucking right. You don't get to call it a horror comedy when
After it
you
does
made
bad.
this movie to be a horror movie. There was no comedy listed in
Well,
that.
so
it
I
was
guess,
horror. And
so I
then
guess
they were,
initially
that movie was
it
terrible.
was being developed as a more straightforward horror project, and they decided to infuse the humor in it.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't decide to
Hold
it.
on.
People told them this movie's terrible.
You
might as
also-
well go with humor if you're going to
Yeah.
do anything. This was a horror movie through and through, and the humor came after.
So, from the mouth of Warwick Davis, who plays the Leprechaun, there was a bunch of conflict between the studio and the creators of this movie about what it was actually, because it was supposed to be a more straightforward horror thing. But obviously, it did not turn into that. Yeah. So that's what we got. So
So
go ahead.
I say this was made in 6?
Three.
Three.
Okay.
3.
The technology
Combination of
and everything.
3 and 5.
One of the things, I'm just going to kind of morph into bubble here.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that it had that 1993 vibe. Like, even, you know, the way that he shot things. Like, every now and then you'd see that weird slow motion thing. And, like,
Yeah, when
see,
he's
like,
on the pogo
yes,
stick.
Yes,
And it's
you're
not
like,
even
oh
weird
my
slow motion.
God.
Pogo stick
It's
kill
meant
was
to,
so
it's
ridiculous.
meant to be
good.
he's moving
But
faster. And it's
But he's
slow.
not.
No,
but
it's not.
And then, like, at the very end, when he dies, like, it's not spoiler alert. I mean,
When,
whatever.
when,
Oh,
yeah,
go
he's
on
all,
your
like,
left.
It's all, like,
sloppy.
electric.
Yeah.
It's all it's electric.
See, I actually thought
things,
that
and
actually
then-
didn't look bad.
Oh, when
That
he's
was
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
when he's in the
Yeah.
wheelchair playing the other guy, and he just goes.
The practical effects are not bad.
Yes,
The makeup
and then-
effects are not bad.
No,
No,
the
like,
makeup
no.
is actually great.
Yeah.
And then, but at the end when he's like melting, it's just like it's.
That
all
was actually
very-
good
it's
practical
so
effects.
90s,
Pretty good.
Like
But
I think it's a direct ripoff of
it's
Child's Play.
awesome. It's
No,
awesome.
I feel like you can
Yeah,
definitely
so
see the influence. But yeah, so you like this movie, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I actually really like this movie.
I'm not shocked.
I'm not surprised by any of that.
No, but I liked.
You do
I
like sillier.
it's
horror movies,
It
though.
was silly and like stupid. It was just I don't know. I liked it. I'm sorry.
Also, the fact that well, obviously, it's
And
known for.
I've seen it at some point, but not in a very, very long time.
Fair enough. Same with me. So we watched it last night together. This was the first time I had seen it in a long time.
Yes.
Obviously, this is probably one of the most famous things about this movie is that it was a vehicle for Jennifer Aniston to
Right.
become a Hollywood star.
Exactly, yes.
She is terrible in this
Which is
movie.
wild to me
Terrible.
that
Awful.
anybody got a role after this movie, because I've never seen a movie with worse acting. This movie, people are like, oh, they weren't bad. I was
they're
like,
bad.
Michael, whatever his fucking name is, the guy that was John Wayne Gacy and in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Michael
The guy that
Holston?
plays Ozzy.
Yeah.
Dude, he was so
He
bad.
was so bad, and he's been so
bad.
good in every other movie.
Like, I get he's supposed to be like the goofy,
It's just
like
a
side,
goofy
like,
movie, so like you
sidekick.
don't need
No, but you
to
have him,
great
Jennifer
acting.
Aniston, and who's the other guy?
Warwick Davis, and then
Yeah.
the dad. I don't know who the dad. I forget the dad's name.
I mean, honestly, when you're given the script, what are you gonna do with this? Like, as an actor, I mean, it's a goofy script that you get. Like, as an actor, no matter how good you are, I mean, you can have Samuel L. Jackson be
Well,
in
you're-
this movie.
you're
and it
coming
won't
off-
Or
matter.
you could
Like, I
be
mean,
Jennifer
what?
Aniston and look
They're
really
coming
good in a
off
white
the
t-shirt.
To be
They're
what?
coming
Like-
off the success of all the 80s movies.
Right,
And now you
exactly.
have this kind of new turn of like, you're going from slashers and aliens into kind of this monsterish thing where you have Pumpkin and you have, what was Nightbreed?
91.
91.
How do you guys
Not really
remember
monsterish,
these
but like,
I don't.
still just kind of a different turn onto like
Yeah.
these kind of movies. And like, I think Pumpkinhead was like, I think that
Pumpkinhead's
was 92.
fucking weird as fuck.
Yeah,
Could
I
be
like
wrong,
Pumpkinhead though.
But
Pumpkinhead's way
Pumpkinhead's
better
way
than
better than this
Leprechaun.
movie, yeah, for
This movie's
sure.
Well, yeah, but
trash.
that's what I'm saying,
What are we
like-
talking?
like you have a movie like that comes out and it kind of influences that was 88
Oh shit.
but that kind of took this weird little turn at the end of the late 80s where you went from slashers into like you have Pet Sematary in 89, you have all the Phantasm sequels start really fucking coming into play, everything's getting weird again, and like you're kind of going off the rails, and this movie was off the fucking rails.
Oh yeah.
Well, perfect segue. Here's some of the other stuff that came out in 1990 for horror movies. There's a lot of crap in here, but also some gems.
Let's hear the crap. I want to hear the crap.
Let's see. Amityville: A New Generation.
Boo.
Movie we covered on this podcast last Janthology was Body Bags, which
Oh,
yeah.
I
like
love
Body
Body
Bags.
Bags. Yeah. Tell me who.
So I mentioned Trey Parker earlier. The first movie that Trey Parker ever directed, which was a student film when he was in college, called Cannibal the Musical, also came out in 1990. We got Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice. Spoiler, it would not be The Last Sacrifice. Andrew, The Dark Half came out in 1993, which I know that you love. Cat, Hocus Pocus came out in 1993, which I know that you love.
Love every day.
Matt, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday came out in 93.
Not
Spoiler
my favorite,
alert,
but
it would not be The Final Friday. There'd be many more.
yeah, not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
Okay, fair enough.
Better than Jason X.
Needful Things, another Stephen King adaptation, came out in 1993. Night Terrors, which is a Tobe Hooper movie. That's a little bit under. Came out in 1990. Let's see. Then we also got Return of the Living Dead 3. I know you've been watching
Banger.
those.
I just watched that a few weeks ago.
And quite possibly the worst Stephen King adaptation ever.
Night Shift
and book.
The Tommyknockers with Jimmy Smits.
Yeah.
That book sucks.
Yeah, that was his like peak.
Cokehead.
Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking coke tired.
So there had been a rumor for a while that James Wan was trying to do an adaptation of Tommyknockers.
I'm sorry, but is there not a rumor that every week James Wan is rebooting a different fucking movie?
No, it's
you're probably not wrong.
Like, do you
That's
guys
pretty
follow
crazy.
all the like horror pages and
No.
stuff?
I do.
Jesus
yes.
Christ!
All the time. Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, so like you're saying, there's a lot of weird. Like you were saying, there's a lot of weird shit in there. Some weird monster shit in there, and then also just a lot of Stephen King adaptations.
A lot of monster shit.
Yeah, a lot of
worms.
Yeah, a lot of worms, potentially. So
a little bit in Jason.
I mean, there
Goes to
should
Hell,
be
I guess.
more.
Yeah, there's a worm in that.
Couple worms.
Yes, that's 93. Let's see. So yeah, back to Leprechaun. Matt, Andrew, who'd like to go next? What do you guys think of Leprechaun?
I'll let Andrew go first.
I mean, what do I think of Leprechaun?
I think you kind of already gave a little.
think
bit
it's-
of
It's
opinion,
gonna go
but,
off right
yeah.
now.
I don't. I just think it's the ultimate, like,
It's gonna go off right now.
like this is like the ultimate trash B, which is fine. Like, I'm good with that movies. I like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's a trash fucking movie. This movie is also trash.
It is
But
trash.
I have no interest in it. Like, they ruined. Like, there's a lot of good actors, and I don't know what they did to them, but they kind of fucked them up where they didn't know how to act anymore. Like, you gotta
because
play
it was
John
their
Wayne
first
Gacy.
movie.
You gotta play John Wayne Gacy, Michael Holton, or is that?
Dude,
I'll look him up.
fucking-
Hold on. His
Yeah.
They
name
were just
is
starting out. They didn't know.
No,
anything.
he's
Pee-wee
already
Herman's
been
Big
in
Adventure came
movies.
out
He was in
before
Mark,
this.
Pee-wee's.
Mark Holton.
Yes, Mark
Yep.
Holton.
Yep.
Phenomenal actor.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Help! Help! He's just yelling.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure came out in
Fucking-
1985,
Yeah.
and he was the neighbor kid.
Yeah, he was the weird kid.
I forget.
Stole his bike.
Yeah.
Swimming
Swimming pool, just
so
gigantic, fucking monster.
down. No.
I mean, I don't think that, believe me, I don't really think that Marlon Brando could have saved this tampon cocktail of a movie, but I mean, like,
I mean, this movie's bad, but
The
that
acting
guy
is
should
shit
have been
across the
better.
fucking board,
Like,
the writing is
they
shit
had
across the
pretty
board,
good
like,
actors.
Wouldn't Marlon Brando have
No,
done?
if you're
I'm
so
just
proof,
saying that
proof to
they
me
had
that
me.
it's not the actors, it's the writing. Jennifer Aniston.
I mean,
Turned into one of the
She's
she's
fine.
managed.
She did
No, I
fine
know
with
that's what I'm
what
saying.
she
was doing.
So she took this bad script.
Because you know what?
and
She's
still. You know what she
one of her
had?
first
She had nice
roles.
perky boobs and like a
You know what
slender
else
body.
she sucks in?
Like,
Office Space.
yeah.
You know what's the
Yes.
greatest comedy of all time?
yeah, she didn't put on her.
Office
fucking-
Space.
She's horrible.
One
at it,
of the
but-
greatest comedies of them.
Yeah, Office Space.
But she had something.
You know what else she sucks in? Friends.
Yes.
People watch that show too.
Well,
You
you
know
know
what
what? You know what
sucks?
show
Friends.
just sucks is
I like
Friends.
Friends.
No one wants
I mean,
to watch that
All
terrible.
women
shit.
like Friends.
Yeah, I would say no offense. Friends is a show for women. It's not a show for
I
guys.
watch Friends sometimes. I'm not like one of those people that collected like the DVD sins of
Yeah.
Friends, but I would
Probably
watch it
most
if it's
do.
on.
90%, 95% of the people that love Friends are female.
Courtney Cox, like way before she was Courtney Cox in Scream.
Now looks like Scream.
Now looks like Scream.
Yeah, we've talked about that
Scream
before.
Ghostface.
Doubling down.
Oh
We've
my
been there
god.
before.
Doubling down on the hate for Courtney Cox.
No, I do. Never mind.
I do hate
Courtney
Courtney
Cox.
Cat,
I
she's not,
didn't
she's
even
not
say
listening.
it. I
It's okay. You
didn't
can
even
make fun
say
of her.
it. It's fine. It's
Could you imagine if she was listening? She's
Oh
like,
my
these
God,
people are
she'd
so
be
mean to
mortified.
me.
Imagine
Massachusetts
And then
sucks.
she just, and then
Fuck
she,
that place.
then she just injects her face with like fucking steroids. It's like, man.
more Botox.
That would do nothing.
It would just be more Botox.
Yeah. Her face would just explode, turn
All right.
into a mask.
Matt, do you have any a different opinion on
Becomes
Leprechaun?
Ghostface.
She is.
This
Ghost.
movie's not good,
That's correct.
by all means, but I don't hate it. It's tolerable. It's enjoyable. As much as I can't say that I think that Silent Night, Deadly Night is a slasher classic, and then say this movie's fucking stupid.
Right.
'Cause
No, this movie's way better.
It's like it has a holiday nostalgia to it. It's like this. Yeah, you watch it once a year. It's dumb, but you know what? I laugh my fucking balls off at it.
It's great.
And I had fun watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this movie is definitely just as fucking dumb as I remembered it. But you know what? I took it kind of at a different angle. I was like, makeup effects are great. The practical effects are great. The story is fucking... The cold open is fantastic. with the old
O'Grady.
guy finding the gold and everything.
Yes.
I was like, well, that's a solid setup. And you know what? There's not a boring part of the movie.
Mr. O'Grady, what are you doing in a
there's really
limousine?
not.
There, like
You're
it
watching
starts.
the entire time.
It starts off with a bang, and it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
like it's horror the whole time.
There's not. It definitely does fly by. There's not an ounce of fat on it. It's an hour and 31 minutes with the credits.
And it's
so
he's constantly in the movie.
He is. Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So
And if he's not in it, you're looking for him.
You're waiting for him.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So you know what I mean. The characters are shitty, and like it didn't age well. But I mean, it's 93, and this is a movie that was built to just be on Sci-Fi every Saturday at 9 a.m.
I feel like
it's a great way of putting it.
It's a good vintage like horror, but it aged.
It's classic
it ages
90s
well.
horror.
Like I know you said it didn't age well, but like it doesn't in the sense that it's a period piece by far. But like also,
It's an extremely like
you
really
you
pedestalic
get it, though.
way.
Like you get it though, you get it, and you're
Wow.
like, and it's not totally. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it though.
But it is super 90s.
Yeah.
And like that, I can't get over, like, there really is like a turn from 80s to 90s, and this is in that like parable that like really climbs over the hill. And
so, and you know what? You're not in the minority, because this movie was well liked enough to be cult classic.
Yeah.
That inspired, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sequels, with a potential new movie coming from Darren Lynn Bousman, who directed a bunch of the Saw movies. Yep, of course, because this is the day of adaptations and remakes and reboots.
Could you imagine? Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
So we got, in addition to Leprechaun in 93,
Really?
we got
I don't think so.
in 94, Leprechaun 2, 95, Leprechaun 3, 1997, Leprechaun 4 in Space, 2000, Leprechaun in the Hood, 2003, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, 2014,
I want to watch all these now.
Leprechaun
They're all on Peacock.
Origins,
I will.
Yeah.
and in 2018, the most recent one, Leprechaun Returns, which was supposed to be, I don't know if you've seen this or anyone's seen, was supposed to be one of those requels that ignored everything except for the first movie, Leprechaun Returns. So there have been 8 movies in this franchise, with a potential
I will
9th movie
say,
coming.
Leprechaun in the Hood is
the best
it's
Leprechaun movie that's
very-
ever fucking existed.
It's
Oh,
very
we should do
good.
that next year.
No, that's the one. That's the one.
That movie is
Leprechaun in
funny
the Hood
as
is
fuck.
so good.
Like they really
Like,
leaned
Leprechaun
into
sucks.
They leaned into the comedy aspect, and it is actually laugh out loud funny. It's very good.
It's so good.
So, Andrew, I hesitate to even mention this because I think you're going to cream in your pants. But there was at one point in the 90s a crossover film between Leprechaun and Candyman in consideration.
Nope, no
That
one
would never
because
got made.
Leprechaun is so bad.
Here's-
Leprechaun is one of the worst movies.
Why
what it
wouldn't it
says.
be Leprechaun and Child's Play?
Right? That would be a good
Why
And
Candyman?
Candyman?
Like what the fuck?
So here, and I quote, a crossover film with the Candyman film series was in development following the release and subsequent box office success of Freddy vs. Jason, tentatively titled Candyman vs. Leprechaun, with a script treatment, written and Davis set to reprise his role. However, the project stalled after Tony Todd immediately said "fuck no" and refused to participate.
Stupidest
in
fucking movie
Following-
I've ever heard about.
stating that he "quote unquote" had too much respect for his character to see him used for such a purpose.
Yeah.
So
Following
bravo.
the release of Freddy vs. Jason and the ayahuasca trip
Yeah.
of the writer and director.
Bravo,
What are we talking
Tony
about?
Todd.
good for
Yeah,
Tony
that
Todd.
sounds so
That's my
stupid.
Yeah, and then let's see, 2019, Darren Lynn Bousman, director of 4 films in the Saw franchise, expressed interest in a Leprechaun reboot. And then in April 2022, Bloody Disgusting reported that Lionsgate was, quote, actively seeking out pitches for the next Leprechaun. Nearly a year later, in February 2023, the original film's director, Mark Jones, said he had discussed the idea of a new film with Davis and expressed interest in seeing the franchise adapted for TV. So that's where we're at with Leprechaun. We might see a Leprechaun TV series. Sounds like a lot like what, I've never seen any of this, but the Chucky TV series that's on Sci-Fi and USA, which a lot of people say is actually pretty goddamn good.
First season I heard was good. I heard the second sucks.
Okay, so all I know about that is that Don Mancini, who wrote and directed the first movie, is in...
He wrote the first movie.
Oh, wrote the first movie. He it is kind of like been the creative mind behind the Chucky franchise.
Yeah, he created the whole universe.
He is like the the showrunner for this, so it's all of his stuff, which I can bravo to Universal for letting him he wants. So yeah, that's it's mind blowing to me that Leprechaun has seen this many movies. And admittedly, I have not seen most of those sequels. I think I've probably seen a few of them when I was younger.
Leprechaun Space, Leprechaun in the Hood. This
Leprechaun
movie's just so
everywhere.
fucking wild.
Do you guys know how the director of this movie got the idea for it? Was eating a box of Lucky Charms and said,
Yeah,
"You know what?
I don't like that. I'm not.
There's
good
never
with
been
that.
a Leprechaun horror movie." Was pretty much what it was. And then he got the idea to write and direct Leprechaun.
Sounds like a fucking
piece of shit. Director, by the way, Mark Jones. I think I mentioned that before, but he's actually done a lot of TV, not too many. He's Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, a 1995 horror comedy movie called Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, so this guy's
Little
already
foreskin?
This is
guy
kind of what his specialty is. Done some TV as recently as 2016. So yeah. Mark Jones has made a nice little career for himself.
Is he Irish?
Kat, I know you have a lot of thoughts about Leprechaun. Tell us what you thought. I know you like this movie, and you're probably the one who likes it the most out of all of us. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about why you like the movie, what you liked about it, everything in between. Go ahead.
I really liked his makeup. I thought that he looked really good as like a leprechaun with like so while he was going through this whole movie, like they show different angles of like just feet like moving and like just him moving, and I'm like, so how is this actor like I never actually like Googled like who this actor is, if he like I don't know if they did some sort of thing to his face, like I don't know how they made him into this little leprechaun, but I thought it was really funny how they just had
Well, they did a very good job. Willow Smith, not Willow Smith.
Willow.
That's
Warwick Davis.
Willow Smith is one of Will Smith's children.
Yeah.
And she's also a
That is
strange person.
Andrew.
So.
No.
I mean, I'm not lying.
Anyway, the makeup. One of the people that did the makeup for him also worked on Blade and Army of the Dead, which.
Well, because I feel like he didn't like his character didn't even move from like the beginning of the movie to the end. He felt like he was constantly like that same person, like, and you knew that he was mobile, but you kind of saw him like in little
he drives a
snippets,
little car.
and he drives. Oh my god, that car! I said,
first off, you're not knocking a truck off with a fucking
little pitchfork,
go-kart.
like a go-kart. Like
I
that
know.
scene is wild.
I said
he's
that
like,
to Mike.
smash.
I was like, first off, I was like, where does he get this? And Mike's like, because movie. Like,
yeah, it is because
and
movie.
I was like, okay. Like, I hate because movies, but I'm like, he just drives out of this barn with this car with a pitchfork.
A
in
go-kart.
front, and I'm like,
It's a go-kart.
It's not even a go-kart.
It's like a barely a go-kart. And he smashes the truck and flips it over.
I love that he like sees the car and like looks at his tricycle and he's like,
oh, I can take him.
Yeah,
like,
this
I
is
can
better.
take him. Like,
yeah, I can throw this stuffed animal out of there.
The bunch of vehicles that he rides around in this movie are outrageous.
Oh,
crazy.
Outrageous. Yeah. Outrageous. Even I liked the nostalgic cigarette lighter that Jennifer Aniston burned him with in the car, because I was I had one of those in my first car. I had a cigarette lighter like in my car, and I was like, oh my god. Some people I feel like would watch this and be like, this is dated. Like, what the hell is she doing to that?
Is that lipstick?
Yeah.
It is wild that there used to be cigarette lighters in cars. It's like come standard.
Oh, absolutely. That was a standard feature.
Dude. Life used to be awesome.
I remember I used to get picked up from elementary school by my grandfather in his truck, and he things.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah.
And
he'd be listening to James Gold cassette tape in the truck.
Absolutely.
That's fucking awesome.
Because I'm Irish. My family's Irish.
The other note that I had was the great scene that they had with when he rips out the guy's eye and puts his eye.
Yeah,
eye for an eye.
That was
fucking
just
piece
like,
of shit. Yeah, that fucking
like,
weird guy
that
was
is
like eye
so-
for an eye. Jams an eye.
He takes his eye out and then he puts it in his own
That
eye.
movie's
And I'm
so
like,
fucking wild.
Yeah.
that's
It's out of control.
I mean, it's crazy.
No one has time for that.
Wow.
Eye for an eye.
I
There's
always
some
like
great,
rips
crazy
someone's eyes.
one-liners in this.
I
Oh,
always
yeah.
liked the pogo
Fuck
stick
you.
kill.
Pogo stick kill was the best kill of the movie, I
He's
thought.
like,
The
does that
Pogo stick
rhyme?
kill was awesome,
He does that
yeah.
weird rhyme.
Yeah, he says some bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the fucking.
He's saying leprechaun things.
They do. That's when they do
Yeah,
the
leprechauns
slow
just
motion
make
thing.
rhymes.
And they're like, when he's like, just pummeling
But it's like
him
that, like-
on the pogo stick,
yeah.
but it's slow motion. So you're like, oh, he's this is
Really
90s.
getting
like,
after
he's
it.
really getting after it because it's in slow motion. You're like, pow, it's so funny.
Oh, Warwick Davis. I went through so I've always had a bad habit of like using deep cut references in like my daily vernacular. And when people do get it, they think it's hilarious, but mainstream people won't. And I remember I was like probably 22 years old. I was leaving a bar. I was pretty hammered. And there was a girl outside the bar like crying. And
you're laughing about it.
Yeah, it was funny, and she was like,
Seems
just like
fair to
she was
me.
being ridiculous,
Obviously.
and she was like, "Yeah, you give me a ride." I was like, "Not tonight, Warwick
No.
Davis." And like she didn't get it, but there was like some like really like big like metalhead guy smoking a butt, and he was like, "That was funny." He didn't. That was the best part. He didn't laugh.
Yeah.
But he was like,
It's like,
that was funny. Which is arguably better than him laughing.
Way better.
So.
All right, well,
Can I give you some of the one-liners in this movie real quick?
fuck you, Lucky Charms.
So, yeah, Alex. Hey, Lep, fuck you, Lucky Charms. This old Lep, he played pogo on his lung.
Oh yeah,
There's
that's
another one.
the
He
funny.
does a lot of fucking weird fucking.
Tells the cop that he's 600 years old. Let's see. Try as they will, try as they might. Who steals me gold won't live through the night. There's another one. You only got away because me powers are weak. I need me gold. Honestly, this character is like the walking embodiment of the Lucky Charms guy.
Oh, yeah.
But as a slasher. It's really
Well,
it's
the one
insane,
when like
yeah.
Ozzy's like, "Well, you're not gonna get the last one because it's in my belly," and he's like, "Well, then it's your belly that I
I
need."
only need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I remember like I was watching it, and like Sarah. So we have our whole setup down in like the basement, and so I was watching it down there, and she came down with Layla. This was like the day that Layla had fell, and she was kind of like, you know, came to from her like whole just shitty day,
Yeah.
and she was ready to party. Then we came down, we watched Leprechaun, and like we were just cracking up at it. And Sarah's like, "This is what you guys are podcasting this week?"
Yes.
I was like,
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep, pretty much.
It's a good movie.
Also, when the Leprechaun, I cackled when this actually happened. When he breaks out of the crate and he sees Ozzy for the first time, and he goes, "Hey, Tubby, you got a light for a Leprechaun's pipe?" He calls him Tubby. Anytime anyone calls a fat guy Tubby,
It's
I
just
laugh.
fantastic.
It's pretty funny.
I like how he also shined shoes in frustration. Of like, they were throwing shoes, and he's just like grabbing them. He's like,
Well, because he
no,
was
grab! Like,
he
wait,
was a leprechaun.
Like,
to the
I
full
know, but
view.
it's just like it's so funny to like watch him like in such frustration to be like, "Don't throw another shoe! Oh my god, you did!"
So he just
like,
has to shine it.
Like, yes.
That's what a leprechaun does. You gotta shine the shoe.
I know,
you
it's
fucking
just so
diet.
funny.
So,
Like, it's
okay,
just-
let me. Here's
I think
funny.
that's right.
so.
It is. No, it is right.
Okay.
It's correct.
I think it's right.
That is correct.
So when I was watching this last night, I was thinking about another movie that is equally as corny and cheesy, but I think is leaps and bounds better than this. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. A stupid premise that is a very creative, very interesting, very good 80s cult classic movie. I feel like that's gone through a bit of a resurgence in the past few years. So if somebody can make a good movie, mainly the Kyoto brothers, can make a good movie out of a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they could have done, I feel like, so much better of a job with this. Because I feel like it's a
This
similar
movie's
type
absolute
tone.
trash. I have no words.
The acting in Killer Clowns is also
No,
not
Killer
great,
Clowns
but this
is
is
a
also,
very good
and that's
movie,
also a
though.
way better
think if
movie.
But
they
the
were
special
to-
effects are good. And
Yeah,
it's
they
a great,
got
it's
a
a great.
lot
I
better
love
stuff.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
But if they were to redo this now, maybe they'd rethink this
No.
movie.
Killer Clowns
Maybe.
way better.
No, I'm just saying it's way
Yeah.
better. Yes,
I don't
but
know.
I'm saying
I
they
feel
would
like
remake this movie.
I feel like with the tone
Maybe.
of the franchise as a whole, they would probably, if they were going to do something new with it, they'd probably keep the comedic tone a little bit.
Leprechaun just left.
You know
a
what they
lot out
want?
of
Because
it.
they'll try to make it fucking scary and shitty, and he's gonna be like covered in mold, like dumb shit.
Yeah.
It's like I have a weird disease.
He'll have like banshee sidekicks and like all kinds of
Yeah,
weird shit.
it's gonna
so.
suck. It's gonna CGI. It's gonna be Blumhouse. Fucking stupid.
Sounds 100%
Blumhouse.
right.
Just the worst. Just the worst.
That's all I have on Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, I think
It is easy to say
my
fuck this
God.
movie, but it is also a guilty pleasure.
I'm gonna say fuck the movie. I hated
Oh,
this movie.
I liked this movie. I thought it was like corny, funny, like.
I could
No,
go
I
another
just-
13 years without watching it.
I mean,
Also-
I don't need to watch it every year, no, but
I have a question. So when you think about Irish immigrants coming over from Ireland during the potato famine and coming to the United States for a better
Well,
life,
they didn't
to eat
come
food.
No,
No.
This movie's about.
Hear me out, please.
This movie is about that.
Were there a
That's
lot
the
of
funniest thing Andrew said all night.
Were there a lot of? Is there a large Irish immigrant population in North fucking Dakota? Why is this movie set in North Dakota?
Yeah, it should have been set in fucking Southie, dude.
Boston, Philadelphia, New York,
Yeah.
anywhere else where there's a
Right.
lot of Irish
fair.
immigrants.
New York's probably
Why
the
is it in
biggest, yeah.
North Dakota?
I don't know.
Because
No
they
one asked
filmed it-
you to do anything.
They filmed it on a back lot in Hollywood that looks like the desert, and they said, "Oh, we'll turn this into North Dakota. Sure, there'll be Irish people. There probably are some
on,
Irish people in
hold
North
on.
Dakota.
I doubt it.
But,
Yeah, but
dude,
that's,
North
um,
Dakota.
Probably a lot of
also,
French people.
Also, that's like
what the fuck?
not
Canadian,
where
French
we've
Canadian.
not immigrated Ireland
What
a
you
lot
fucking
What?
talking
earlier
about?
than when the movie was made.
93.
What I'm saying is, when you think about Irish people that came over from Ireland and settled in the United States and set up roots,
It was not in '93.
Well, it also wasn't in North
it
Dakota.
also wasn't in North Dakota. It was on the eastern coast of the United States, mainly Massachusetts, New York,
Right, but
and Philadelphia,
I never.
and Chicago in the Midwest.
You know what else? Also wasn't.
I won't.
You.
Never mind.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I feel like I'm on a voyage
I
alone.
feel like we look like
It
a couple
wasn't
of
you.
Muppets right
This is
there.
like,
Yeah.
this is like
you kidding?
I don't think you're
different
right. I
podcasts
think
going
no.
on
I
here
think
right
you're
now.
out of your mind.
Well, guys, you're doing the St. Patrick's Day episode.
Breakneck fucking
A
speed.
great justice. You're doing
Guess
a
who it
great
was?
justice.
Guess who it wasn't?
Never mind.
Wasn't
Never
this
mind.
guy.
Never mind. It's just.
Is this the most drunk people have been on since I did Silent Night, Deadly Night? Might be close.
Hey, the crowd would not know.
That's true, actually, because we actually.
Very true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
You buried that one.
No, that's out. That's out.
You released it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
You did.
okay.
You did. You-
I mean, I think I.
One of them got fucking
One of them got nixed.
kaputted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't think I was on
Yeah,
the one that
you
got
nixed
kaputted.
all of them.
Nix all of them. I don't nix all of anything. I've only nixed a couple of episodes.
There
in
is
our
one that
history.
I was not on that just never came out.
Not like
He was
Nick
probably upset
Mungo,
about it. He didn't like your
released.
attitude. He was
I
like,
wasn't
"No."
there.
Anything further on Leprechaun, or should we just fucking quit while we're ahead here?
Movie's trash.
Yeah, that's how, I'm good. I
Yeah,
had to
me
pee.
too. I'm good. This movie stinks. And anyway, thanks for listening to this episode of America's Hometown Horror.
talk about
Hope you have a lovely St. Patrick's Day, and I hope
Get
that
an
you,
Uber.
Top
get
of the
an
morning
Uber.
Don't be a
to
dickhead.
ya.
and don't.
It's kind of appropriate though.
Yeah, is it okay? Cool.
No,
Cool. Empty cans.
I'm just saying. It's
All right.
It's St.
Anyway,
Patrick's, you know,
we'll be back next week with another episode.
Fine.
If I don't kill everyone beforehand. And
Yeah, I was on my deathbed.
no, not.
That would be very
It's
weird.
not you
Me and
guys.
my-
Matt.
I'm on your side.
Also,
Don't worry, it's not you.
hey,
we know
Jeffrey
it's
Dahmer.
us.
Anyway.
Maybe not kill people. You fucking weirdo.
Well, you already told me you were going to slit my throat earlier tonight, so that's on
We do
recording
have that
as
on
well.
recorded.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
so
gotta
we'll be
happen.
back next
Yeah.
week wherever you're listening right now. But just a heads up, we're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, and wherever else you may get your podcasts. My name is Mike, and I've been joined by my esteemed co-hosts Andrew, Kat, Matt, ladies, gentlemen,
What up?
gentlemen. Say good evening and goodbye to you.
Good
If you can muster.
Good evening, listeners.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Good evening.
Bye. Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.